On this edition of Good Day DePaul, DePaul ramps up security after more robberies on the Lincoln Park campus.
Writers tentatively agreed to end their strike against the entertainment industry, but not before it impacted some at DePaul.
It's called Visual Theater, and it's one example of how DePaul is helping its entrepreneurs.
And soccer at DePaul, Big East style. I'm Adar Jagannathan.
And I'm Juliana Pelaez. And this is Good Day DePaul. DePaul recently announced a number of security steps following continuing robberies on the Lincoln Park campus. Students and employees will now be required to carry their DePaul IDs at all times on both campuses, and a public safety officer may request to see your ID at any time. Those officers will also have the authority to remove anyone from the DePaul building who cannot demonstrate that they are a faculty member, student, staff, or an invited guest or welcome visitor. If you're going into DePaul Center on the Loop campus and want to go to floors above the lobby level, you'll need to present a DePaul ID or register as an authorized visitor. And those going to the Richardson Library on the Lincoln Park campus will need to show either a DePaul ID or a government-issued ID.
The university says it will also be getting more security officers to have a more visible presence on campus, especially after dark and over weekends. They're also increasing the number of security vehicles to patrol the Lincoln Park campus during overnight hours. And the Chicago Police Department will increase its patrols around the Lincoln Park campus as well.
In terms of rideshare companies like Lyft and Uber, the university says it's trying to develop a subsidized rideshare program for DePaul students. They're also increasing the capacity of the existing public safety escort service on the Lincoln Park campus. They'll be doing this by adding a supplemental van and professional driver to assist with late evening rides around campus.
DePaul says it will also upgrade lighting in the Sheffield parking garage on the Lincoln Park campus, along the L tracks, and in the quad.
Finally, the university is creating a series of programs in residence halls focused on campus safety. These will include a lock your door program dealing with safety guidelines.
All these actions are being taken following two more robberies on the Lincoln Park campus. Just after 10 o'clock on Saturday night, September 23rd, a robbery took place in the quad area off of Seminary and Belden. DePaul Public Safety says two men approached several people sitting on the hill in the quad. The men demanded their cell phones and then fled. Almost 4 hours later, a second incident at Racine and Belden. Public Safety says 4 people jumped out of a car and approached 3 students. They demanded their cell phones, wallets, and purses. One of the students says she was struck in the face with a gun. The 4 then fled southbound on Racine.
Writers have reached a tentative agreement to end their strike against the movie and television industries, but actors and others still remain on strike. And as I found out, the strike has affected some at DePaul.
The writer's strike began in May and affected filming and production for many. Christopher Parrish teaches in the School of Cinematic Arts at DePaul and is also a union screenwriter. His work was disrupted by the strike.
I am rewriting a project on assignment for a motion picture comedy I was hired to do by a production company, a Writers Guild affiliated production company out of Michigan. Unfortunately, the work has hit a stoppage in compliance with union rules in striking. But fingers crossed, all of us will be able to get back to work very soon.
The strike forced Parrish to adapt his course at DePaul.
The course that I'm teaching right now, I'm teaching a course on pitching. And with what we normally do in this class, we look at the industry, and usually the fourth week in, for students that are interested in writing for television, we look at shows that look as if they have a good shot of being brought back for, say, a mid-season replacement, or to air in mid-season, or new shows that are getting positive hype that are most likely going to be airing, or shows that we hear that have been ordered. And that entire lesson plan for next week has been literally thrown out the window because nothing is going on.
Actor Janelle Snow, a teacher at the DePaul Theater School and a member of SAG-AFTRA, has also been affected.
I spend a good amount of time every single week with the next generation of on-camera actor artists. And I am mindful that in order for them to sustain a career in the arts, they need to be paid fairly for their labor. So this fight, this struggle, isn't about me and my future earnings, although I am affected by it, but I am motivated by the younger artists that I work with virtually every day.
Snow is a longtime actor from Chicago and has appeared in shows like Chicago Med and Chicago Fire. She is currently a strike captain for SAG-AFTRA since the beginning of the strike.
I help organize some of the events, one of which I just came from, and we welcome the support of current union members as well as future union members. The community events are just to remind people why we're doing this, to create community, to create awareness in the general public about what we're fighting for, and to connect with each other.
Snow talks to her students about the strike.
This is a nationwide SAG-AFTRA. Every actor, every member of the union, no matter where they live, is affected by this. You know, Chicago isn't a celebrity town, so to speak. So even just today, wearing my SAG-AFTRA shirt, folks will stop me and say, I didn't know you were on strike, because we are unified. And I think that's the message I want to send. It's every union actor in the United States of America is part of this effort. And all of us will benefit from a positive resolution.
Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Juliana Pelaez.
On September 18th, the new COVID vaccine became available. The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, is recommending that people over 6 years old get vaccinated to protect against the possible serious outcomes in the fall and winter. DePaul followed up with an email encouraging everyone at the university to get the vaccine, but the college no longer requires students, staff, or faculty to get vaccinated.
It's called DePaul's Halperin Investment Fund. Its goal? To help people in the university community start new businesses. Good Day DePaul's Ariana Allen has details.
Earlier this year, DePaul University invested $100,000 in a company run by a former student. It's called Visual Feeder and is an experiential media company founded by Yashi Yang, who graduated from DePaul's Driehaus College of Business in 2014. Yang and her brother Eddie created Digital Feeder, which produces immersive art to transform vacant storefront windows into interesting displays. It's provided displays for companies like Lululemon and Lyft. The investment comes from the university's Halperin Emerging Fund. This fund provides money for DePaul to make equity investments in startups founded by DePaul students, faculty, and community entrepreneurs. It focuses on investing in ventures that show potential for growth and job creation.
So it's an evergreen fund, and the hope is that we'll invest about $50,000 to $150,000 per deal in maybe 6 to 7 companies per year. And any successful exits, any returns from any of those companies will go back into the fund to invest in future businesses.
The fund was created after a donation from Driehaus alum Errol Halperin and his wife Libby. The fund not only makes investments, but also provides a way for some Driehaus students to get real-life experience.
As part of the committee, there are 2 seats designated for students to be on the investment committee. It's a really great opportunity for students to kind of get involved and hear conversations around venture funding and raising capital. There's also a venture fund club on campus, and which is new this year. And so some of those students, they're going to be helping us with these businesses as they come through. So they'll be doing due diligence on prospective companies. They'll be doing investment analysis and different reports to provide the committee with more information, giving them some real life experiences, some hands-on learning opportunities through the fund.
The fund will continue to replenish itself, but is also open to contributions from the public, which can be made on the fund section of the DePaul website. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Ariana Allen.
Next on Good Day DePaul, a major Big East test for the DePaul women's soccer team.
And would you like to sing the national anthem at DePaul athletic events? You could get a chance. The details after this.
The flu is unpredictable and can be serious. Who needs to be vaccinated against the flu? You. Get a flu vaccine. For more information, www.flu.gov.
Audit is here now with Good Day DePaul Sports. Audit?
Juliana, the DePaul women's soccer team recently played their first Big East home game of the season. Their opponent, the Xavier Musketeers. DePaul went into the game with a record of 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, having lost their last game 2-1 against Marquette. DePaul started off kicking left to right, but were put under pressure quickly as Xavier's Kennedy Clark fed Sonia Vargas on goal. DePaul goalkeeper Elena Milam collecting the ball in what would turn out to be a busy game for her. And that was the case in the 7th minute as DePaul's Kristen Schwartz took down Kennedy Clark in the box to give away a penalty kick to Xavier. Up stepped Samantha Wee, who sent Milam the wrong way to give Xavier the 1-0 lead. Milam would be called into action again 3 minutes later as she came off her line to clear the ball with the striker through on goal. DePaul then had 2 chances to test Xavier's goalkeeper, but the Blue Demons' Susie Soderstrom saw her shot blocked on the edge of the box before Mia Gardner sent her shot wide. Midway through the first half, Xavier with the ball down the right wing. The attacker does well to cut inside but could only send her shot straight at Milam in goal, who caught it comfortably. DePaul finally showed some attacking intent right before halftime with a great run down the wing, but the cross was a bit too far ahead of Nala Dominguez, who was ghosting in at the back post. The Blue Demons went into halftime down 1-0 with a lot of work to do in the second half. DePaul paid tribute to their women's soccer alumni at halftime, with players ranging all the way back from 1995 till now all present. Vice President and Director of Athletics Dwayne Peavy was in attendance to honor the former Blue Demons. The second half started much like the first, with Xavier on the front foot, and it wasn't long until they doubled their lead. A great run down the right from Regan Dancer, crossing the ball to Shelby Sally, who glanced her header past Milam to make it 2-0. And it was 3-0 soon after that, as Reese Slater swung in the corner and Natalie Bain rose high to score an incredible header in the 66th minute. And that ended the scoring, with Xavier shutting out the Blue Demons 3-0. Milam finished the game with 10 saves, while teammate Ellie Mink picked up what looked to be a leg injury after an awkward fall. For Good Day DePaul, I am Adit Jagannathan. DePaul's Jacob Holmes was named the Big East Male Cross-Country Athlete of the Week. This after Holmes finished 5th in the men's 8K with a time of 24 minutes and 23.9 seconds. His performance helped DePaul finish 2nd overall at the Bradley Intercollegiate Meet. DePaul Athletics is calling all singers to showcase their talent as they hold auditions to find national anthem singers for this year's games. If you are interested, submit an a cappella performance of the national anthem to dpumarketing@depaul.edu. And that's sports. Back to you, Juliana.
Thanks, Audit. Coming up, DePaul is honored for its work in the community. Stay with us.
Today, the heroes that fight day in and day out on the front lines. Those who are there, innovating in real time, saving lives and answering the call to care in times of crisis. American nurses. Nurses who have been there for each and every one of us in times of crisis for more than 150 years. Nurses are the pillar of strength and the foundation of healthcare and life itself. Nurses are there the day we are born. They are there when your family is in crisis, and they are there in the end. In confronting the most catastrophic health crisis in modern history, we must remember our American nurse heroes need our support as much as we need them. To show our gratitude for their courage and ensure they receive the critical education and support services they need, donate to the Coronavirus Response Fund for Nurses today in honor of your American nurse hero.
A group called Village Chicago is honoring DePaul with its Trailblazer Award. The group works with people over 50. It's honoring DePaul for fostering an age-inclusive city and helping bring cultural and social enrichment to the communities around it.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Juliana Pelias.
And I am Adit Jagannathan. Have a good day, DePaul.